Matthew Holt with the Healthcare Blog, and it has been way, way too long that either I or Jess Massa has interviewed Glen Tullman, but here he is. I've even got the Jess Massa t-shirt on because now she's officially retired from WTF Health. We're going to keep her going. Glen, how are you? Where are you? What are you up to?
I am doing great. It's a great day for us today. We had, as you know, we're having this interview because we created a new category in healthcare called wayfinding. And this kind of fits into our broader vision of putting all of your health and care in one place for all your health and care, which I'd love to take credit for. But pretty much when I left Livongo, everybody we met with said their dream was to have all of their health and care in one place instead of benefits in one place and care in another and guidance in another and get your meds from another one. And it was, when we surveyed people, what they said was healthcare was more confusing, more complex, and more costly than ever before, and getting worse, not better. So all the work that we've done over all these years has led to probably a C- grade, not very good. So the idea behind Transcarent was this vision of all of your health and care in one place, and a mission which was, how do we make it easy? Really important, that word. How do we make it easy for people to access high quality, affordable care? So all those words that, unlike a lot of visions, this one's important because when I moved out to Silicon Valley, to Mountain View, I moved there because people said it's different. And one of the things I learned is in healthcare, we spend a lot of time trying to bribe people to do the right thing, trying to force people to do the right thing. And in Silicon Valley, they actually build products that people want to use. So at Livongo, we said, wouldn't it be amazing if we built a product that actually people not just liked, but they loved, that we could prove it actually improved the care. And last but not least, it did it at a lower cost. And so fast forward, when we came to Transcarent, we had that same idea. How do we make a product that is easy to use, that is accessible 24/7, the way we all live, not only from 8 to 5. So easy access to high quality that's focused first on quality, affordable, it's got to be affordable, and health and care. And I always separate those because today we don't have a health care system, we have a sick care system. And what we really have to focus on is how do we keep people healthy? And then when they need care, which means the system didn't work, how do we get them high quality care? So that whole concept was what we were focused on. And we had a lot of the pieces, but we never had the opportunity to, how do we pull this all together so it feels like one smooth experience, starting from benefit navigation, which is, how do I pay for all this? Can I afford it? To who's going to give me the guidance that I need to stay healthy, clinical guidance, to where do I actually get the care? And what wayfinding is, for the first time, it puts all of those three things on one platform. And that is benefits navigation, clinical guidance, and care delivery, all on one platform. And then along with that, every single separate kind of standalone solution, digital solution that you want, all of those on the same platform, and does all of that. So it's all of your traditional, kind of the old way we called it was navigation, and all of your telehealth all on one platform, $5, unlimited use. And the beauty is that you can start using it, it's instant, and all that is courtesy of all this new AI that we've had. So, that's really kind of what's going on here.
Very cool. So I saw it a bit earlier. It's got a lot of interesting pieces put together. Remind people what is in Transcarent that sort of AI layer is getting them access to, because you've got, well, I'll get it wrong, but you've got the Centers of Excellence approach. You had the oncology care piece. You did the deal with 98.6, where you've now taken both their sort of chat IM function with doctors, their staff, and all the historic conversations there to mine for the AI. I'm probably missing some other people. You got the cost plus agreement. What? I'm missing some other stuff. A bunch of other stuff, but tell me what else is in there.
You actually did a great job. I'm very proud of you. So start off with what we call everyday care.
Yep.
And that's 98.6, but that's also physician finder. That's a lot of information embedded in everyday care. But the key component is you can get care in 60 seconds. You can be chatting with a physician 24 hours a day, unheard of in healthcare. So a lot of people, remember, a lot of people don't sit in front of a computer all day. When you think about our customers, Target customers, they're out on the floor working with people. Boeing customers, they're building planes. Costco company customers, they're stocking shelves. All of these folks who are our members today, they want their healthcare convenient. They want it right on their phone. And they want it instantly when they need it. They want to be in charge. So everyday care, number one. Number two, pharmacy marketplace. And that is type in any drug at all, and we will tell you instantly the lowest cost place to buy it that's closest to you. And we do that in association with Mark Cuban, Cost Plus, with GoodRx, with Walmart's lowest cost drugs. All that's available in one place. Number three is, and you mentioned it, Center of Excellence, but it's really about finding high quality places to get your surgery that are very affordably priced. Number four, cancer care. And number five, weight health, which is not about dispensing GLP-1s. Yes, that's a part of it. It's about getting people healthy and to their right weight and managing lifestyle choices, giving them coaching, behavioral health, and in some cases where they need it, surgery. So those five pillars make it up. But what wayfinding is wayfinding is a way to interact with all the pieces. Because remember, there's a lot of other apps out there that we didn't write, and yet they're really good. So how do you make it easy for people to use those apps? Because what people tell you today is, hey, we have all these apps, nobody can find them, nobody can get to them. If you call the old style navigators, which are out there today, and you say, well, I want a digital health app. And so let's say, well, it's Sword or it's Hinge. What they do, they give you a number or a website. You have to go, you have to re-enter all your information. You have to start from scratch. On our system, and you saw it today, if you come in, you say, I think I have a hurt knee, we walk you through the process, we connect you real time to the site, you're logged onto the site instantly. I mean, the experience is night and day. I kind of compare it to, if you had a flip phone did one thing, that was make calls. So this is moving from the flip phone, that's the current navigation that we have, to an iPhone. Flip phone does one thing, an iPhone does everything. And that's what wayfinding is. It gives you access to everything you need to stay healthy.
So obviously this comes from 2 years plus, well, nearly a year and a half now of Chat GPT, people having a different view about how do you talk to a machine? How is AI going to work? So tell me a little bit about how you guys got from where you were to here today, and a bit more about, this is kind of the beginning. You can imagine this really going forward. You've got human beings on the old 98.6 on Transcarent Care, but how much does that gets replaced by the machine? Where are we in that transition, and where do you think we're going?
Yeah, well, first of all, I think it starts, well over a year ago with our acquisition of 98.6. And if you remember, 98.6 was very, very visionary. Long before Chat GPT, they said we can use the power of the internet, the power of machine learning, and we can actually replace physicians. Well, not so fast. So they spent more than $200 million, and they developed a lot of great machine learning algorithms, and they were using AI, but it wasn't hot and sexy like it is now. They were doing all that work, and they were using it to supplement more than 100 physicians they had who were doing chat with people. So part of the acquisition, we got all of these great developers. Part of the acquisition, we got code. Part of the acquisition, we had a customer base. And really importantly, we had close to 1 million chats that were not verbal chats like we're having now on video, because those are not recorded. These were actually mineable information. So we today have the largest, probably the largest, maybe in the world, number of chat conversations about physician interactions. When Chat GPT comes along and OpenAI comes along, and we can use their engine now along with other engines, we can now populate that LLM, or large language model, with all of this information. We think that's probably a 2-year lead. The second thing we did starting a year ago was started hiring data scientists and folks who understood AI, and made a very big investment. Total investment cost of this whole product is well over 100 million, probably 125 to $150 million commitment. And as a part of that, we were able to build, because remember, when people think of Chat GPT, they think of the commercial system. You can download it, put it on there. What we're talking about is we're using the engine. We have to build all the safety systems around it. We have to build all the healthcare knowledge around it. All of the, if you think of it, you can buy just the engine, and that's really good, but you need everything else to make the rest of the car work. We've built all of that other proprietary stuff, which is what you saw this morning. That's wayfinding. So this has been an effort strategically and a big bet over the last year that now is just introduced. And it is so different from the traditional navigation. First and foremost, with navigation, you kind of have to know where you're going. I want knee surgery. With wayfinding, you can simply say, my knee hurts. And it will walk you through the process to say, maybe you need an orthopedic exam. And we'll start there. Okay, here's what the exam says. Now, what are the next few steps? Here's your options. Here's where to go. Here's what to do. It's totally unlike, and it does it so quickly that no human could do that. And no human could know it that quickly and that well. And what we're going to see is even where, and in our app, at any point, you can opt out and say, I want to talk to a human. When you do that, chances are they're looking at a screen that's using our system, because it's that fast and that good. It reminds me, I was at the airport where I spend a lot of my life, and flight was canceled, and I had to wait in line like we all used to do. I get up to the front, and I'm asking her some questions, the person behind the desk, and all of a sudden she takes out her phone. She says, hold on a minute. And she logs on to the consumer site. She said, this is better and faster than this big terminal in front of me. That's what's happening now. This change is so rapid that we can put this back in the hands of people and let them make the best decisions. And they're going to make those decisions, in many cases, faster than somebody could help them make those decisions. And think about it. It's what we do with travel now, Travelocity. It's what we do with banking now. It's pretty much everything we do. We're in charge now because we have these apps that have a great human interface. On the other hand, we're never going to get away from having physicians make sure that any care that's given, we have a human look at it, approve it, make sure that it's doing the right thing. We're never going to get away from allowing you at any point to opt out of the system and say, I want to talk to somebody, because this is healthcare. This isn't buying a product. You can afford to get some of that wrong. We can't afford to ever get healthcare wrong. So we built this with enormous amounts of safety and care built into it. So we make sure that we're doing this carefully and doing it right.
Okay, push out a little bit more for me. So there are things that in the first iteration of this, right? There are some things there are things that I think are not in it quite yet, like advanced future scheduling into network specialists and that kind of stuff. And you obviously have got a plan about going down and linking up the 5 parts that you're doing. with Wayfinder and with more. And then, as we know, this stuff's moving pretty damn quick, right? You've done this in a year, but put another 6 months, another year into it, it'll help build itself. What does it look like? Push it out when you guys sit around and do the sort of vision of where this is going to be in 3 years. What does it look like?
Well, we're pretty close already in many respects. So today, and I hope you saw this today, you can ask it almost any question.
Right.
If it doesn't know a question and you opt out, that'll only happen once, because then the person you talk to will then enter that question into the engine. And so everybody else who has that same question will get it answered. In terms of the actions, and I think that's what you're talking
Right.
about. So now you say, right now, if I said, I need to see a Spanish speaking orthopedic specialist in LA, it would give me that instantly in seconds. But if I said, I'd like to schedule an appointment, it couldn't do that yet. If it said, if you said, I'd like to use Sword right now, or I'd like to use Progeny, we're looking at having children and I'd like to use Progeny, it would take you right to their site. But it wouldn't actually set it up for you and populate some of those fields. So it'd get you right there, it'd be ready for you. The next generation, which we're working on, will populate that. And I expect that, we have one working prototype already with a health system where you can schedule through the app. It's not fully functional yet, but I think we're talking about months. And I was just before this call on with a second major health system where a customer that has a big population in their area has said, can you do this so it can actually schedule the appointments if we ask it to? And so we're starting to have those conversations. But in the future, what this will do is this will be one place you go for all your health and care. And that includes knowing what's covered, all of your benefits navigation. It will include giving you great advice about what you should do, but always putting the decision in your hands. And last but not least, it'll actually deliver some of that care, because a lot of that care is going to come right here on our phones. And so that's what we're talking about. But I think we're also missing something that hasn't happened before in healthcare. That is, we're doing all this at half the cost or less of what it costs today. And that is going to shake the industry up. For example, what we're saying is for $5 per employee per month, you not only get all your benefits navigation, you get all of your what used to be called telehealth, all that's included. It's unlimited. And by the way, when I say unlimited, at some point, if you use it 50 times, we're going to say, hey, this is probably someone who needs more than just a telehealth visit. They may need some, from our partner Spring, they may need some behavioral health counseling. And by the way, we'd be happy to give it to them, because if they're calling us 50 times, they've got some other issues. But the point is, it's one integrated experience, and that's what everybody wants. And we're doing it at dramatically lower cost. By the way, it's totally transparent. So we will never take a dime of revenue from any medication. So right now there's people out there who are prescribing GLP-1s. And by the way, GLP-1s used appropriately with the right people can be magical. They can really be great. But if they're just dispensed and that's all it is, and somebody's just making money on a prescription, not helpful. It's not helpful from a care standpoint, and it's not helpful from a cost standpoint. So we have certain underlying value propositions that says we're not going to make money in the wrong way. That's really important. And it's going to be 100% transparent to all of our users, which today include large and mid-sized self-insured employers, but very soon will include some large payers and other folks who are jumping on board the platform because of how far along we are.
So on that last point, right, we talked about this sort of thing off the record, on the record. You can't supply care at a lower cost for more people in a different way without goring somebody's ox. Where are we going to where are you going to go, and who are going to be the losers in this transition?
Well, let's first talk about who's the winner. So physicians, for example, there was a study not long ago that said that the average physician spends more time figuring out what pharmacy you're going to go to than they do diagnosing your illness.
Right.
And so what we're going to do is we're going to take care of all that administrative work. So let's say, Matthew, that you look at your phone, it looks back on you, and it says to you, because you're on Transcarent, Matthew, what's going on? And you say, well, right now my sinuses hurt. It says, can you tell me more? I have a headache and I have discharge. And right now, those three indicators, most physicians would tell you you're likely to have a sinus infection. So then it comes back to you and it says, I show that you have a history of sinus infections. One thing I want to check, are you allergic to anything, any medications? Do you have any drug interaction history? And you say no. And said, okay, I just wanted to confirm that. And the last time you got a branded medication from CVS, the time after that, you got a generic from Walgreens. Did they both work okay? Yeah. You have a preference? Nope. And well, so if you need one of these, we can pick one. Which one would you like us to pick? And you choose, or we can have it delivered to your home. Oh, I'll try that. Okay, great. Now, all of that I just described is done by our AI. Now a physician comes on and she looks at your record and says, okay, Matthew, no drug interaction risk. Okay, we know where the pharmacy is. Great. Here's all of the symptoms I do think is. Now, at that point, they do what they were trained to do. Is there anything else that I know about Matthew that I'm looking at from his record that I should ask him? If there's not, they click and they say, Matthew, this is, Dr. Glenn. Anything else you want to ask me? Because if not, I'm pretty sure you have a sinus infection. We're going to treat it. We're going to send your prescription, or we're going to have it delivered to your house. And you say, thank you. We just eliminated all of the administrative stuff that the doctors don't like. We gave them all the information they need to make a better decision, organized, not in a clumsy electronic health record, but just the way they want it. And so we make them incredibly efficient. Now they can actually think and say, is there anything else? And then we do one more thing. That is, we say, okay, well, if Matthew is over 50, we say, by the way, I notice you haven't had a shingle shot. That's one thing that you really should have. Can we get you scheduled for that? Now, in the future, if you say yes, the AI will give you a number of choices and say, we can have you scheduled. Here's 3 different places you can go. And by the way, it's 100% covered by your plan. We can send you a map, tell us where you want to go. So that whole transaction, physicians happier about it. So who's not happy? Well, we have a shortage of physicians. So we're not talking about physicians losing their job. We need more of them. We have a shortage of nurses. We need more of them. So they're happy and we're using them more effectively. It reduces overall cost. So the people paying for care are happy. So frankly, the only people who are not happy are people who are going to make money in what we think are the wrong ways. And, there's nobody we need to single out, because I can tell you across the board that in every case, there are people doing it the right way. There's payers who are actually delivering better care, doing it efficiently. There's providers, and in every case, there's also somebody you can point to, you say they're not doing it the right way. So I think our focus is we're going to make this technology available to anybody who wants to use it. And we're going to partner with the right people. But what you deserve and what everybody deserves is you deserve to know where the best place to have your surgery is. Whoever's paying for it, whether it's you or whether it's your employer, they deserve to know what the price is and not get ripped off, but get good pricing. And that's what we're going to deliver. So I think this is going to be transformational for healthcare. And we're the first to have it, but eventually this is going to be how healthcare is done. And we're going to partner. We have up and coming relationships with everybody across the board. Health systems, as you know, people outside of health systems, and even payers. Some of the most innovative payers in the world and in the country are working very closely with us and us with them. So, it's we're in a different world now. And this is the first time that anybody has really used AI to change the interaction that people have with their healthcare. And that's going to be transformational.
All right. Well, that's I think that's a big statement to end on. And I think you can see it, especially this week with the OpenAI announcement and the Google announcement. You can see this is really bubbling very close, and it's time to put it into place, put it into practice, and really enthused with what you're doing. So good luck with Wayfinder, and we'll check in soon and find out what else is doing, because there's a lot of stuff in the background I know about as well. I know, I can tell it's happening as well. And I'm still waiting for you to give Lee Shapiro a job.
We've come a long way from you holding a little tiny camera and trying to interview me with it. Was like we were on a ship.
We're both a lot younger now, right?
We are. That's part of what this does.
Absolutely.
It makes you younger.
All right.
Thank you.
Guarantees
Thanks for all you do.
Thanks a lot. I've been talking with Glen Tullman, CEO of Transcarent, new exciting innovation from today called Wayfinder, which is bringing AI into the healthcare process. Glen, thanks for your time.
Thank you. Have a great evening.